Every man knows the sting of rejection, the sleepless nights, the endless questions, the silence that follows. But this pain is not random. It is part of her nature, built to test your strength. Your suffering is not unique. It is the path all men face. Machiavelli once showed rulers how to command nations. Those same principles now reveal how to command love. Here are 9 laws to turn heartbreak into power and respect into obedience. This is the cruel truth of desire. Machiavelli said men are moved by 2 forces, love or fear. Most believe this applies only to kings and rulers, but it also governs the hidden rules between men and women, because they are not chasing the same thing. Men are taught to chase love, give affection, show loyalty, and offer devotion. But women are not searching for devotion alone. They are testing for strength. Not violence or cruelty, but a calm force that cannot be bent. She looks for the man who stands firm, the man who does not lose himself to her moods. Her tests are not accidents. They are nature's way of asking, can this man lead? Can he hold his ground? This is why many men suffer. They believe giving more and loving harder will secure loyalty. But the harder they try to please, the faster they lose respect. Kindness without strength turns into weakness. Weakness is punished not with anger, but with indifference. A man who folds too easily becomes invisible. Without admiration, she cannot follow. Love without strength becomes slavery. So the first law is this: never trade your strength for comfort. Be kind, yes, be gentle when you choose, but let that kindness rest on discipline and presence. Without power, love is ignored. She may enjoy your sweet words and your soft touch, but in the end, she respects only the man whose strength cannot be shaken. This is the cruel truth of desire. Without power, love fades. Pain is the teacher. When heartbreak strikes, it feels like the world chose you alone to suffer. You replay the moments, the words, the silence that followed. Nights grow heavy, your chest feels crushed. You ask yourself, why me? What did I do wrong? It feels like punishment. But the truth is harsher. Your suffering is not special. It is the common path of every man who dares to love. Pain is not a mistake in life's design. It is the oldest trial given to men. A silent test meant to separate those who rise from those who remain broken. Women may be the spark of heartbreak, but they are not the true enemy. The real battle is not against her, it is against yourself. And this is where most men fail. They flee into distractions, endless entertainment, shallow pleasure, alcohol, and comfort. They run from pain believing escape will heal them, but escape only chains them tighter. Pain avoided becomes a master, pain faced becomes freedom. Machiavelli warned that the wise face pain at once. They cut open the wound, learn the lesson, and emerge stronger. The fool hides from pain and pretends to be fine. Years later, the same wound returns heavier and crueler. Pain avoided becomes slavery. Pain confronted becomes freedom. Heartbreak is not just damage. It is raw material waiting to be shaped. Like metal, useless on its own, but when thrown into fire and beaten, it becomes a sword. Your suffering is that fire. A man untouched by pain is shallow and fragile. But a man who survives the fire carries something different. His silence has weight. His presence commands respect without a word. So the second law is this: face your pain and use it. Let it carve out weakness. Let it build discipline into your bones. Pain is not your ending. It is your beginning, the law of distance. Too much presence kills value, while distance creates desire. When you are always available, always giving, you become invisible. What is common loses meaning. Most men believe constant closeness proves love, but it suffocates her. It kills mystery, drains tension, and destroys attraction. The man who never leaves her side becomes the man she no longer sees. Distance is not anger or childish games. It is calm strength. When you step back, you remind her of your value. Your absence awakens the fear of losing you. Machiavelli taught that power often lies not in what is given, but in what is withheld. Endless generosity breeds weakness. Controlled denial builds respect. Love follows the same rule. If you flood her with attention, it loses meaning. But when you give with precision, every word, every glance, every touch gains weight. Distance is not neglect. Neglect comes from weakness. Distance comes from discipline and purpose. It shows you are not desperate or defined by her presence. Here is the paradox. The moment you stop chasing, she moves closer. When you stop flooding attention, what you give becomes priceless. The man who refuses neediness becomes the man she bends to. Desire follows strength, not desperation. The law of tests. Every man faces them, though few recognize them. Mood swings, cutting questions, sudden distance. These are not accidents. Most men react with anger, arguments, or explanations. But tests are not attacks. They are her way of measuring strength and leadership. Each test asks one question. Will this man stay steady, or will he collapse? Words do not matter here. Only your firmness decides her respect. This is where most men fail. They try to win with words. They beg for reassurance and argue to prove they are right. But she will not remember your words. She will remember whether you stood firm or folded. The moment she sees weakness, her respect begins to die. When respect fades, desire soon follows. But strength changes everything. When you pass the test, when you remain calm in chaos and grounded under pressure, her nature responds. She feels safer, more drawn, more willing to follow. She may never admit it. She may not even realize it herself, but strength makes her trust you. This is not cruelty, it is design. Women test because they are wired to. They must feel your strength not only against the world, but against the storms of their own emotions. The test is not meant to destroy you, it is meant to prove you. So the fourth law is this: do not beg, do not fold, do not lose your calm. Be steady as stone, let her words pass through you. Let her silence come and go. Let her storms crash while you remain unshaken. When you master this, she obeys, not from fear, but because she finally feels safe in your strength. The test is your chance to show command. The law of hypergamy. Women are drawn toward the stronger choice. This is not greed or betrayal. It is instinct shaped by survival. She's drawn to presence, ambition, and resilience. To the man who moves forward when others break. Progress, not promises, holds her attention. Love alone is not enough. Nature does not bend to words. The moment you stop growing and leading, respect begins to fade. But within this truth lies opportunity. Stop comparing yourself to other men. Focus on outgrowing the weaker version of yourself. The man who improves daily becomes rare, and rarity creates value. Growth builds the weight of your presence. You do not chase perfection, you refuse stagnation. Discipline, purpose, and direction make you a man she does not want to lose. Machiavelli warned that rulers fall when they stop adapting. The same rule applies here. Never assume loyalty without strength. The power of silence. Silence is one of the strongest tools a man can carry, yet few master it. Most believe talking more makes them strong. In truth, weak men waste themselves in words. Strong men speak less. Machiavelli understood this. Words can be twisted or broken. Silence cannot be undone. Silence forces others to wonder, and in that wondering, they hand you power. In relationships, silence becomes a throne. When she argues or provokes, many men defend and explain. Each desperate word weakens them and gives away control. But when you stay silent and unmoved, you speak louder than words. Your calm says, I do not need to prove myself. I cannot be bent. Silence is not weakness. It is restraint and self-control. When emotions beg you to react, remember great rulers. They spoke little, yet every word carried weight. Silence makes every word valuable, and it creates mystery. When you reveal everything, curiosity dies. When you hold back, desire grows. The law of discipline. A man without discipline is already defeated. Charm and talent cannot save him if he cannot rule himself. Women sense undisciplined men quickly. Kindness and humor may attract her, but she cannot respect a man ruled by his urges. 3 chains enslave most men: lust, anger, and laziness. Each looks harmless, yet each quietly destroys presence and respect. Uncontrolled lust chases distraction. Uncontrolled anger explodes. Uncontrolled laziness decays slowly. Each one lowers her respect. Discipline is not punishment, it is freedom and power. To lead a woman, you must first lead yourself. If you cannot govern your habits, time and emotions, how could she trust you to lead or protect anything of value? Most men drown in comfort and distraction. They chase pleasure without thought. The disciplined man chooses carefully. He builds routines that sharpen his body and mind. He commands his emotions instead of exploding. Every day he becomes stronger. This man is rare, and rarity creates value. His presence speaks. She may test him, but she cannot bend him. Machiavelli warned that rulers lose power when they cannot discipline their soldiers. In the same way, a man loses respect when he cannot discipline himself. The shadow of fear. Machiavelli said it is better to be feared than loved if you cannot be both. Many misunderstand this, imagining cruelty. That was never the meaning. In relationships, fear does not mean harm or control. The fear that holds weight is the fear of loss, the fear of crossing a line and losing a man who cannot be replaced. This fear comes from standards that do not bend. Not for charm, not for tears, not even for love. It is quiet, firm, and unmovable. Most men collapse here. Afraid of losing her, they beg, chase, and lower their values. She may stay, but respect disappears. When respect is gone, loyalty soon follows. Deep down, she knows he will never walk away, no matter how far she pushes. Anything without boundaries is eventually abused. But everything changes when a man carries the shadow of fear. The knowledge that he can walk away if his standards are crossed. Not to threaten her, but to protect himself. Suddenly her behavior shifts. She weighs her actions. She measures her words, not because of threats, but because principles stand higher than emotion. This shadow is not about making her suffer. It is about making yourself unmovable. Authority without noise, power without force. She may love such a man deeply, but she also knows losing him would cost more than she is willing to pay. That awareness creates balance. Love without fear is fragile. It becomes blind devotion and breaks easily. When love carries even a trace of fear, the fear of losing a man of value, it gains weight. It demands loyalty. So the law is this: do not fear her leaving. Let her fear losing you. Transformation through suffering. Machiavelli said nothing great is achieved without danger. The greatest dangers arrive quietly through heartbreak and betrayal. The greatest wars are not fought on battlefields. They are fought in the heart. Heartbreak, betrayal, disappointment. These quiet wars destroy many men, yet forge a rare few into something unshakable. When pain first strikes, it feels like the end. Sleepless nights, heavy mornings, a constant weight in your chest. You ask why life chose you for punishment. But pain is not only pain, it is a message, a door, a chance to step into fire that can either destroy you or make you unbreakable. Every scar is not just damage, it is a seed. Every rejection is not a loss, it is a call to rebuild yourself stronger than before. Most men waste this chance. They cling to bitterness and blame. Resentment rots them until only a shadow remains. The rare man asks a different question. Not why me, but what now? Heartbreak sharpens him. Betrayal teaches him. Disappointment turns into steel. The fire meant to reduce him to ash becomes the forge that shapes him. Slowly, pain becomes discipline. Discipline becomes power. Women obey this man, not because he commands, but because his presence carries weight. His silence is heavy. His eyes show he has survived storms. This kind of presence is rare. It belongs to a man who turned suffering into strength. His scars are not shame, they are proof. So the 9th law is this: carry your suffering with discipline until it becomes your crown. Do not run from the fire, let it shape you. When you do this, men respect you. Women follow you. You no longer demand recognition. Strength born from suffering cannot be ignored. Here is the hard truth. Love alone will never hold her respect. What she follows is strength shaped by discipline. She follows the man who turned pain, failure, and scars into power. The man who leads himself first. If you are ready to rise, take action now. Subscribe, leave a comment. Share your story. This is not a place for comfort. This is where men are forged into leaders. And if you remember one word from this lesson, remember this: strength.